This is Kim with the Shrewsbury Town Clerk's office, and I'm going to show you how to license your dog. You'll start at the Shrewsbury Town website, shrewsburyma.gov, and once you're there, you'll find the service requests. It's a circle with a cone in it, and if you click in here, it's the easiest way to get to the service requests portal. Here you can see there are different sections for every department in Town Hall, and they're all in alphabetical order. So one way you could find the dog license application would be by going to the Town Clerk section of this page. I'm going to show you a different way, and it's in the search bar. So if you click into the search bar and start typing dog, you'll see that dog license application pops up, and when you click it, it brings you right into this page where you can start your application. You will need an OpenGov account, and if you don't have one and you need help setting it up, there is a user help guide available. There's a link here, as well as some other information about getting your dog license in Shrewsbury. So once you've read all that, you'll click here for Apply Online. And as you can see, it wants you to log into your OpenGov account. So the made-up user today is going to be somebody named Terry Dactyl, and Terry is going to log in once again to her OpenGov account. At any time, if you need to stop, there's a Save, Draft, and Exit button, but I'll talk more about that later. And here, they're just confirming the contact information for Terry's OpenGov account. As you can see, everything is editable except for the email address, which is tied to the OpenGov account. So that cannot be changed. The information on this page doesn't necessarily have to be the information for the dog license, but every dog owner should have their own OpenGov account, so it is preferable that this would match your information, if possible. So we're going to click Next to get to step 2, the dog owner information. So this is just confirming whether or not the person whose OpenGov account is being used for this application is the dog owner. So right here you have the choice to select I am the dog owner or I am not the dog owner. So if you were to select I am not the dog owner, if you were helping somebody else with their application, it would take you to a page where you could fill in the owner's first name and the owner's last name, as well as their phone number here. The applicant would still be the same person whose OpenGov account it is, but the dog owner on the dog license, that information would come from this page if they were two different people. So for now, we're going to click back to take us back to this screen, and we're going to answer the question this time, I am the dog owner. If possible, again, we'd like the applicant and the owner to be the same person. We understand that sometimes people help others, but just think about the fact that the person who is applying for this dog license will be receiving all the notification emails about the process, as well as a request for payment. It is possible at the end of this application to add a guest, which it talks about right here. It talks about the guest email address that may be added after submittal. And that person would be able to upload documents, they would be able to pay, but they would not receive the reminders at renewal time. Only the person whose OpenGov account is tied to this dog license application would receive those. That may change in the future, but that's how it is right now. So we're just going to continue. Here we're going to enter the residential street address where the dog owner resides and keeps the dog. And so we would just start typing in the address. For the residential address, we do not need to include Shrewsbury because it's the residential address, so it automatically would be in Shrewsbury. You can enter a unit here if you need to. Here is a place where you can check a box to indicate whether or not the owner's mailing address is different from the above residential address. So if you have a P.O. box, or if you have one of those residential addresses in Shrewsbury that happens to have a different mailing address, you would check this box. And as you can see, a different section pops up where you would be able to enter the mailing address. The mailing address will show up on all dog owners' licenses. Whether or not you're having it mailed doesn't matter. There's a place for a mailing address and there's a place for a residential address. You know, a P.O. box in, let's just say it's in Worcester. Okay, here is where we enter the dog info. I just want to point out at this point, you've already done, 3 steps. You're up to step 4 of 8, so you're about halfway through the process. If something comes up and you need to stop what you're doing and continue this later, you can click here for Save, Draft, and Exit. So what would happen there is that you would end up to this page showing you all your applications, and then when you go into your OpenGov account, you will see your applications. Now, this person has a lot of applications because this is what I use for my tests, but you would probably just have one dog license application and you'd be able to get into it and continue from where you were before. And then we never entered dog info, so this is where we'll pick up. You're going to enter each dog separately. So we're going to pretend that this person, Terry Dactyl, has 2 dogs. The first one is going to be Balky. And Balky is a mixed breed, but we're going to be specific about what kind of mix. And it's always possible that a dog will have many different breeds mixed together. We ask that you pick something that is either on your vet paperwork or something that allows us to know what your dog looks like. This helps a lot in case your dog ever gets lost. So then we also ask that you be specific about the color of your dog. Again, if the dog is lost. Is your dog altered? Balky is altered, which means he is neutered. And I, as a person that is using this form for the first time, I will need to provide proof that Balky is altered. If you have a dog that is not altered, you don't have to provide proof that they're not altered. There is a difference in price between a dog who is spayed or neutered and a dog who isn't. So that's why we need to know, and you'll only need to provide this proof once per the dog's lifetime. And that can be something that is on your rabies certificate or a separate attachment that you add at the end of this application. So we're going to add in Balky's date of birth. For the rabies vaccination proof, everybody's going to need to provide this at this time because it's the first time Shrewsbury dog owners are using this this platform. Only when your dog gets a new rabies shot will you need to re-upload a new rabies certificate. So the rabies certificate you enter into this, or you upload into this rather, that would stay in the application, and when you renew, it would just stay there until the rabies vaccination expiration is passed, and then you would be required to upload a new one. So you're going to choose a file. I'm just going to upload an example, but you would be uploading a rabies certificate or some vet paperwork. But it must have the rabies expiration date visible on it. So let's pretend I looked at, oops, I can't go in the past, it has to be a future date. I looked at that rabies certificate and it's going to expire on June 30th, 2024. So we're going to hit save. I'm going to add one more dog quickly, and when I'm done with this, we'll move on. I just want to show you what the dog license looks like with more than one dog on it. And when I enter this dog, I'm going to enter that it is not altered, so you can see the difference in price. Okay, this is what it looks like after you've entered all your dogs. As you can see, there is an edit button next to each dog. So if you realize you made a mistake, you can always go back and you'll have the chance to go back and fix anything you might need to change at the end of your entire application. So everything looks good. We're going to hit cancel because we did not make a change. And now we're going to move on to the next page. This is the vet information, pretty straightforward. You'll have to type in your information if you haven't already done so in the past. So this information will stay in, as well as all of your dog information and all of the information you've already entered at renewal time. And you'll basically just be confirming that all this information is still the same. And then you'll essentially just say renew and pay for another dog license. So this process will be a lot less intense next time you do it. We're going to hit next. Additional household contact is if you have another person that could be contacted in the event that your dog is lost. This information will not show on your dog license, but it will be available for the animal control officer and the town clerk staff in case they need to get in touch with somebody that can help with this household of dogs. I'm going to leave this blank because it is optional. I just want to stop for a second and point out that this is step 7 of 9. So after this, there's one more, and then the application goes to the town clerk's office for review. So you're not going to be paying during this part of the application. When you select how you want to pick up your license and tags, keep in mind how you want to pay. If you want to pay by cash, you will have to select pick up in person. Otherwise, you can choose which one you want to select. So let's pretend the person selected by mail. There's an additional $1 postage fee automatically added. Then when you move to the next step, it lets you know, warning, if you want to pay by cash, go back and select pick up at the town clerk's office. And it's letting you know that you can pay by credit card or e-check. And when we receive your payment, we'll mail the license and tags, or if you want to mail a check, you can do that too. And when we receive the check, we'll mail you the license and tags. So for this example, we are going to choose pick up at town clerk's office. And as you can see, again, this is just kind of repeating the same information. You're not going to pay during this step. If your application is incomplete, you would receive a request for changes. Email before payment is requested. That's the same for both pickup types. If you're paying online, we would know immediately that you paid, and we'd be able to produce your dog license and tags and have them ready for pickup. If you beat us to the punch and just showed up at the town clerk's office after you paid online, we would just put it together for you right then and there while you wait. And then if you wanted to, you could come in person with your cash or check. We would receive that money, and then we would process your dog license and tags while you wait at the counter. And here is where, if you need to, you can attach another document. I would have to attach another document in this case because we're pretending for this example that Balky's rabies certificate did not indicate that he was neutered. So if your vet document that says the rabies expiration date does not also say that your dog is spayed or neutered, you will have to one time provide another piece of proof, some other document from the vet that says your dog is spayed or neutered. It doesn't have to be, a specific spay or neuter certificate. It just has to be able to say that the dog is spayed or neutered. So we're gonna upload an attachment. This is not an actual vet document, but it's just a placeholder to show you that you would be able to upload something at this step. We're going to click next. You're going to confirm your submission. And then we're confirming and submitting, and we are certifying that the preceding information is true and correct. So at this point, you'll hit confirm and submit. And when you go into your email, you would see a confirmation email in your inbox saying that an application was submitted to the town of Shrewsbury. If you click into it, it allows you to view details. So you could view basically the same screen that you were just on a second ago. It's just letting you know all the information for your submission. At this point is where you are able to add a guest. So a guest, again, would have the ability to add attachments and pay fees on this record. They would get the same emails you get during the process of this application. Once this application is complete, they don't get any more emails. And then when there's renewal time comes, only Terry Dactyl, who is the person who's logged into OpenGov, only Terry would get the renewal reminders at this time. That's how it's set up. Marcia Mello, once we grant access, she will get all the notifications that come during the process of this dog license application. Okay, so at this moment, we're going to pause and we're going to pretend that the town clerk's office is reviewing the application, and we are waiting right now for an email to come in that will let us know that a payment is requested. So now that the town clerk's office has reviewed the application during regular business hours, in the order in which it was received, now when Terry looks at her application progress, the dog license payment step is blue, which indicates that that's active or live. And so when Terry goes into email, now there's another email in there saying payment due for dog 40. That's the record ID. Again, it comes from the noreply@opengov.com email address. So keep your eye out for those. And here you can click Pay Online, which brings us over here to this page that shows how much is due. The $30 is, again, because there was one dog that was neutered, Balky, and that was $10. And I think it was Fido that was not altered. So that's a $20 licensing fee, coming to $30. Here, there are choices to pay with credit card, which would be an immediate payment that if you clicked pay with card, it brings you to be able to enter your information for your credit card, and that would then complete the payment step. And that would mean that you could come into the town clerk's office at that point and get your license and tags. Same with paying with your bank account. That's an immediate payment that you're able to process yourself. Pay with check, cash, or another method. This is, essentially you would just walk to the town clerk's office or drive, and you would hand us cash or check. There's no way for you to officially say I'm paying by cash or check. It's just you would get the money to us. And at that time, we would be able to process the license and tags. Okay, and again, it would be taking payment over the counter and processing your license and tags while you wait. You could also come to the counter and pay with a credit card. We recommend credit card payments at this step would be much easier for you to do yourself from home. Now we're going to take a moment. We're going to pretend that Terry Dactyl has come to the town clerk's office with her cash or check, and she is then able to get her license and tags for her dogs. Now, when Terry checks her email, it says that there's a document issued for dog 40, and when we click inside, it's letting us view document. So if we scroll down here and click, it brings up the dog license, and we are able to print it by clicking print document. And then it'll force a screen for printing, but we can cancel that so we can look at it. This is the dog license. As you can see, it has all the Shrewsbury contact information on it, and it also has Terry Dactyl's mailing address right here. It doesn't necessarily have to be a different mailing address, but in this case, since she entered one, it shows where it would appear in a window envelope. Again, this is how all the licenses are going to look, whether or not you're having it mailed or picking it up. Okay, here's the record ID. That will be the same record ID for your dogs. The tags will change from year to year, but you will be renewing this record from year to year. So you will not need to type in every single thing that you just typed in every time. It's letting you know that Pterodactyl is hereby licensed to keep the dogs described below during the period ending on the expiration date hereof. Here's the expiration date. Okay, since we just did this on December 12th, 2023, it expires on December 31st, 2023. So when you have your license for 2024, the expiration date will be December 31st, 2024, and so on and so forth in the coming years. Date issued will be on your license, as well as the date application received, which will become more important as we get into the end of on-time licensing. For this example, we're not showing a fee because I forced this through without payment for this demonstration. But if a person was licensing their dog as a renewal on December 12th, that would be considered late, and that late fee would be included here. So for this example, it was a dog that was neutered, which was $10, a dog that was not spayed, which would be $20, so that would be $30 plus a $10 late fee would be added per dog. Here is the dog information. If you have one dog's information will show here. If you have 1, 2, 3, 4 dogs, you're getting one piece of paper. Each dog is getting their own tag, and you can see all your dogs in one place. So as you can see in this chart, all the information that was entered appears on the dog license. And then as we come down to the bottom, we just see some information about laws and also animal control concerns. And that's it. You've licensed your dog. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you need more help, we're here for you. You can call us at the town clerk's office, email us, or stop by. But we really appreciate you licensing your dog, and thank you.